What's going on? It's Mike. First video. Make sure y'all sub, like, and I'll drop more. Stay safe.
We have two types of really self-awareness, that internal self-awareness and then that external self-awareness. When you think about internal self-awareness, it's that ability to clearly see how our own, like our values, our passions, our aspirations, and our reactions, just being aware of like our internal state of being. And so when we think about the external self-awareness, like it's being able to see other perspectives. And so internal self-awareness, say for instance, um, say I have a lecture and they're talking about the values of family and the importance of family. If I value family and I value the importance of family, I might see like, yes, like that resonates with me. Like I see how my own personal values of family also resonate with what this person is saying. Versus like like I see how it's like that self-awareness of like why I am the way that I am, why I like the things that I like, why I value the things that I like. And so the external values is like, it could be how other people perceive us. So say for instance, if, say for instance, I miscommunicate with a friend, right? And that friend ends up getting hurt, like their feelings get hurt. And then they come to me and talk to me about their feelings. That external self-awareness can be that understanding of like, oh, like I get why you might have interpreted it that way. That wasn't my intention, right? Whatever it may be. However, like I see why you might have perceived it that way, or perceived like me that way, or like the situation that way, right? And so sometimes when we have that external self-awareness is more about ourselves, and that internal self-awareness is more about ourselves versus that external is like how I can see myself through being perceived by other people, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Okay, if it doesn't. So further examples. And so, okay. And so then we also have situational self-awareness versus dispositional self-awareness. And there's a lot of self-awareness. So I also, like sometimes internal versus external is more common. And then so is situational versus dispositional self-awareness. And so situational self-awareness, I will read this verbatim, but then I'll ask you, what do you think that this means? An automatic process by which we compare our current actions to our internalized standards, making changes where necessary to reduce inconsistencies. What do you think that means? Yeah, Diego?
I guess we compare what we would expect someone to act in a certain situation to how we are acting, and then based on that comparison, if we see that we may be acting out of the ordinary or out of people's expectations in that situation, we change our behaviors.
Mm-hmm. Did everybody hear that? Yeah. So it's this idea, thank you Diego, and I'm gonna rephrase a little bit. So this idea that when sometimes when we're with other folks, they might not see us, we might behave in a certain way, consciously or unconsciously. And because we notice that difference, we might then try to change the way that we're behaving. Right? Is that what you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And yes, right? And I think that really hints towards the the reduces inconsistency aspect of it. So say for instance, we might behave in a way that is not really, doesn't align with who we are. And so we might change the way just based off of our environment, the people that we're around. Yeah. Yes. What do you know about situational awareness? Like, don't even look at the definition. What do you know about situational awareness? Or have you heard of it? Yeah, David?
I guess for me, I've always understood it to be just like understanding your environment, your situation, what what's happening around you.
Yeah, right? It's knowing your environment, being aware of your environment. Yes. Anything else? Well, yeah. I think in layman's term, honestly, remember when we were doing the resource critique, sometimes you'll have resources that will say things like this, and you're just like, what does that mean? And summary, it's about the context and or like the moment. So essentially, situational awareness is being aware of your environment, but also how that also impacts you. So say for instance, if you are feeling unsafe in an environment, your body, you'll start to feel certain things within your body. And sometimes you can either have that situational awareness and like again that awareness piece of like what's going on with me right now, what is like why am I feeling this way? And sometimes folks might be in an environment where they feel unsafe, but they don't know that they are feeling unsafe. And so that is like that awareness piece. Sometimes people will figure it out later on after they're out of the environment that they're like, okay, like I felt weird in that situation, but I don't know why, right? And then they'll start to like process it a little bit, and like come to the conclusion like, oh wait, like I think I felt unsafe in that situation. And then some folks will be able to, again, maybe do it in that moment. And so that's kind of like the difference in it. Like situational is more about the context or the moment. And an example is like, how aware am I in the specific situation?